Hey, good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing today? Hey, how are you guys doing today? Hey, this is Gregory Wiles coming live to you from Houston, Texas with this inspirational morning walk. Well, today I'm just heading to work. I'm a few minutes late, about 4 minutes late that I will normally be on. I was just finding a suitable place to park and it was close to that site where I'm going. So I said, just let me get there and be safe and comfortable. But it's a rainy day here. We're up to about 70 degrees, but with some rain. So that's all good. But I'll get some exercise a little later. But as we promised today, Mr. Oswin Smith, good morning, sir. How are you doing today? Hope all is well with you. So we can get into this quickly today. The last time we talked about King Saul and when God put the tormenting spirit on him. I want to show you a next case in the Bible. Richard James, good morning, good morning. So this other case I want to show you here right now where God was involved in was involved with the next type of spirit. And you want the man, how God getting in. Christian Cato, Joseph, good morning. How are you doing today, my friend? How are you doing? Yeah, so today we want to show a next case. You might say, man, how God getting involved in this? He put this tormenting spirit on King Saul, and now we're talking about this lying spirit, and I want to show you a little revelation where he gave permission. So what I'm trying to show people here is that God still control everything. He still control everything, right? And when something happen, he has to give permission, but he'll only give permission if you break the laws. If you break the laws, you give permission. Just like the example I used the last time, the police can catch you breaking the law, but he got to take it to the judge. He got to take it to the judge, and the judge can decide if you're guilty or not guilty, and how much punishment you deserve, and all that. They can't leave that in the police hands, right? You got to take it to the judge. So this just like this here, when you break the law, the enemy got to take it to God, and God said, okay, he broke the law. Fine, he didn't repent. Okay, go ahead and do what you need to do within confines of what that punishment is, right? So we can take this quickly here and look at this, and I'm going to show you there is something called a lying spirit. That's why when we talk about when we coming up against someone, we got to remember the law. Our fight is not against flesh and blood, right? So, and I said these evil forces, their characteristics is so pronounced. You see a person is mean, you see a person is lying, you see a person is fearful, right? That's telling you what you should be coming up against. The spirit of fear. They're always fearful. They're always, timid. You're coming up against a spirit of fear, right? You're coming up with lying spirit. People just lying for no reason. You're like, man, they lie for no reason till they believe their own lies, right? That's what we can take today. It's something called a lying spirit. That's why you need to come against that lying spirit, right? So let's take a quick look at this. This is First Kings. We can go from First Kings 22. This is about Jehoshaphat, King Jehoshaphat, right? And Ahab. When Ahab, Ahab was the king and his wife was the wicked queen Jezebel, right? But Ahab was one of the most wicked kings, as the Bible said, and for the kings that come before him. And, he worshiped by the gods, or in common terms, as Obi or voodoo, whatever. He didn't worship the God that we know about and we talking about. He worshiped other gods, right? The demonic gods. That's what he worshiped, right? So he had sent for King Jehoshaphat for say, man, I want you to come together for us to go to war together. Jehoshaphat was a man of God, and Jehoshaphat said, yeah, you know what? Let's inquire the Lord first and see if we should go to this battle or not. And he's one of them guys who just like people around him. People around him. So he sent for all his false prophets, 400 of them. He said, let's ask these guys, if we should go. They are prophets and they're gonna, get word from God if we should go or not. That's how them men of God used to operate back in the days. If God said go, they go. If he said don't go, they don't go. So Jehoshaphat said, let's get word from God and see. But he sent for his false prophets. And his false prophets, we're going to pick it up from there, right? And we can pick it up from 1 Kings 22:10 from there. He sent for these false prophets, and let's see what these false prophets tell him. 400 of them, right? And the king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, and the king of Judah sat each on his throne, having put on their robes in a wide place in the entrance of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets prophesied before them. So there's the prophets, 400 false prophets coming to prophesy before them. And Zedekiah, the son of Shenah, made him horns of iron, and said, Thus said the Lord, with these shall thou put the Syrians until thou art consumed by them. So he's making his weapons so he can use in the war, right? So here are the prophets tell him. And all the prophets prophesy, so saying, Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord had delivered it into the king's hands. So all the false prophets tell him, yes, go ahead, you're going to win the battle. Go ahead, you're going to win the battle, right? But King Jehoshaphat saying, man, I don't trust your prophets. This is a real man of God here. You know, it's a real man of God that we can hear. I don't really trust your prophets, right? But he tell him, yeah, there's a man called Micah here. But this man never prophesied nothing good about me. He always prophesying bad things. So Jehoshaphat tell him to send for Micah. Let me hear what Micah got to say. I don't mind joining you in this war, but if God said we got this victory, so he sent for Micah, right? And the messenger that was once gone to call Micah spoke unto him, saying, Behold, now the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. Let the word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good. So the man going and say, man, Michael, you know how the king, you know this king is. You know you always saying, you know, opposite to what his prophet saying. You know, say, just make your word agree with what these prophets saying. These prophets telling him to go to the war. And you just said the same thing. Let your word agree with their word, man. Stop just prophesying negative things against this king. Right? So Micah said, all right, that's how he wanted. You want me to tell him what he want to hear? I'm going to give him just what he want to hear. So he came to the king. This is Micah. So he came to the king and said unto the king, Micah, the king asked him, Micah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we not go, or forbear? And he answered him, Go and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it into your hands. So Micah said, I don't know what you sent for me for. If you want me to tell you what you want to hear, what your false prophets tell you, I can tell you the same thing. Well, go to battle, you're going to win. That's what the man warned him and tell him. The king just want to hear what you want to hear, right? And the king said unto him, How many times shall I tell thee that thou shalt tell me nothing but the truth in the name of the Lord? So the king know he's lying to him. The king know he's just telling him what he want to hear. He's saying, man, tell me the truth. Michael, like, you really want to hear the truth, bro? You really want to hear the truth? All right, I'll tell you the truth. In 17, he said, I saw Israel scattered upon the hills, and the sheep as the sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Lord said, These have no master, let them return every man to his house in peace. So Micah really tell him the truth. Say, look, bro, you go to the war, you're going to get killed. This is what the Lord telling me. You're going to be killed if you go to the war. You're going to be defeated if you go, right? And the king of Israel, said unto Jehoshaphat, Didn't I tell you that he would prophesy nothing good concerning me? So he says, see what I'm telling you, man? This guy never prophesied nothing good against me. My 400 guys tell me it's okay to go to the war, but he telling me we're going to lose. That's why I didn't want to bring him here. He don't ever tell me nothing good. But the man of God can't tell you nothing good if you're doing evil, right? But he want to hear what he want to hear. Like a lot of these leaders got, people around them telling them just what they want to hear. They don't want to hear the truth. They want you to tell me just what I want to hear, right? And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. So Micah now telling him, okay, bro, this is the revelation I really want to get into. Micah telling him how his false prophets come to tell him to go to the war. Micah and God just giving us a little sneak peek what's going on up there in the heavens, right? He tear back the curtains and showing us what's going on. God's showing Micah now what's going on to tell him and giving us this little revelation here, what is really going on behind the scenes, right? And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting, this was the Lord exposing to Micah to tell them. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of the heavens standing by him on his right and on his left. God sitting on his throne, and all these spirits around him, angels, whatever the case may be, sitting around him. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? Because God was fed up with him, and God said, okay, I'm going to send him to this war and let him get killed in the war. This is how God chose to kill him. God, got out of the ways, but for whatever reason he chose, I can convince him to go to this war and then kill him. So God asked him, who will go and persuade Ahab that he should go? And one said this manner, and the other said this manner. In other translations, make it better, this King James. And, the same, man, you should go. No, I went the last time. No, and all of them debating who should go and sharing their opinion, and they're going back and forth. One said this, the other said that. It's a conversation. Man, I ain't never going that duty. You go and do it. And, the back and forth, who should go, And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. When the spirits just jump and say, okay, God, stop this foolishness, guys. I gonna go and do it. Since y'all don't want to do it, I'm gonna go and do it, right? So this one spirit came forth and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, well, how are you gonna do it? How are you gonna do it? What's your plan? And he said, I will go forth and will be a lying spirits in the mouths of all his prophets. So you see, when all these prophets tell him go to the war, this was a lying spirit in them that tell him what he want to hear. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail. So God tell him, okay, well, go ahead. You're going to be successful in it, right? So God give them permission. Now, therefore, behold, the Lord has put a lying spirit in the mouth of all of these prophets. So Micah telling him now, therefore, behold, the Lord has put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord had spoken evil concerning thee. So I'm just trying to show you, there is something called a lying spirit, right? This is evidence. God give us evidence. There's something called a lying spirit. So God give permission to the lying spirit to go and tell all the prophets, go and tell him it's okay to go to the war. Because I don't want him to be killed in that war, right? But God wouldn't give him permission, give those evil forces permission if you didn't break in the law. If you didn't break in the law. I might get into the Job story one time. Everybody think Job was so innocent. It started by saying Job was, had no sin. No. Job had a little opening that we didn't realize. If you go down into Job, we might take it. When Job said, everything I feared has come to pass. And what God said about fear, I did not give you a spirit of fear. Fear not, fear not. So Job had opened a little door to fear. That's why God could have told the devil, hey, you consider my servant Job. Because he not go against his own laws, right? So if he allowed it, you had an opening there. So I'm just saying, he got to give these things. So there's a lying spirit. So that's what I'm trying to tell people. When you see somebody is lying, and like the lying out of just telling lies, don't be mad at that person. You come against the lying spirit that's influencing them. Just in this case here with Ahab's prophets. That's where I'm going with this. I want you to see from the Bible, they're saying there is a lying spirit. Last time we did about the tormenting spirit, when people get all this depression and fear and anxiety and all of that, it could be a case of a tormenting spirit. Torment, because the word of tormenting means it's a physical and mental kind of torture. So this case here, this is the lying spirit. So you see people lying. Remember the law. Our fight is not against flesh and blood. So you come against that lying spirit when they are lying. People just lie for no reason, just cannot tell the truth, man. It's simple. It's not something that's going to get them in trouble or anything. But they got to just lie. It don't make sense. There's not nothing to get them in trouble or nothing. You ask them a simple question, but they just have to lie about it. And you're like, I don't understand this. It don't make no sense. I just asked you a simple question and you have to lie. Hey, the lying spirit. Now I'm giving you intelligence. Come against the lying spirit that's influencing them to tell all of those lies. You of yourself saying, this does not make any sense. Why you have to lie for every single thing. Why you just cannot tell the truth about anything. You ever heard you telling people that? It don't make sense. And you're right, it doesn't make sense because it's not them. It's the lying spirit that's influencing them. And you come against the lying spirit in them. You pray against that. Silence the power that God give you. God give us that authority over all evil forces. And you use that authority to silence the lying spirit in that person. You see, in that person and not the person. Don't beat the person up, but come against the spirit. And you're going to see the results you get. You're going to see the results you get over time. If it's an extreme case, you may need to go fast and pray about it. But use your power, come against the lying spirit. Our fight is not against flesh and blood. Right, guys? So I'm going to leave that there, man. I'm going to leave that there, but we'll talk again on Wednesday. We can talk again on Wednesday. Have a great day, guys. All right. Goodbye.